Unatazama Mwangaza TV, tumaini lako.
Again for joining us tonight. Good evening to you. My name is Brian Sako, and let's take a look at how news is shaping up. Coming up tonight.
Progress has been made in the areas of implementing the Nairobi Urban Mobility Plan, effecting the non-motorized transport strategy, reviewing the development approvals process, improving solid waste management.
President Uhuru Kenyatta speaks on economy recovery strategy post-COVID-19.
Today we have tested 2,419 samples over the past 24 hours, and among these samples, 176 disease. This now brings to 6,366 the total caseload in the country.
The country records 176 positive cases of COVID-19 as 4 persons succumbed to the virus.
Tunaambia wafuasi wetu wote ambao ni members wetu, tunawaambia wasikanyage kazini hadi serikali ya kaunti itakapotimiza yale matakwa ambayo tuliwapelekea.
Tunaomba ya kwamba gavana wetu ashituke tafadhali, aone wananchi wa Busia mateso yenye tunapitia.
Health workers in Busia County strike after county government failed to honor CBA agreement. Okay. All right, and welcome to the broadcast. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Naomi Mathu. President Uhuru Kenyatta has challenged the National Metropolitan Service NMS to make Nairobi the model for post-COVID-19 recovery strategy. The president said the National Hygiene Program, dubbed Kazi Mtaani Initiative, will play a central part in that regard. Speaking after the NMS 100 days in office, he said it has ensured that the progress in ensuring the county's clean has been attained. He added, going forward, the government must reach all the informal settlements across the city with this program.
Indeed, Director General, I am gratified that the directives for the first 100 days have indeed been implemented in earnest. Progress has been made in the areas of implementing the Nairobi Urban Mobility Plan, effecting the non-motorized transport strategy, reviewing the development approvals process, improving solid waste management, streamlining urban renewal projects, and reviewing and improving the governance and transparency models deployed in service delivery. The evidence of this progress can already be seen. Our neighborhoods are beginning to look cleaner, and we have hundreds of young people, especially those in vulnerable communities in the city, who are today earning a living, and thousands of households are receiving water closer to home. Road infrastructure is beginning to see the much-needed maintenance works, and pedestrian and cyclist corridors in our business districts are beginning to take shape. This is encouraging, but we cannot but emphasize that much work still remains to be done. But what NMS has demonstrated during this period is that the task before us is not impossible. It is indeed achievable. That the aspirations of the people of Nairobi can and will indeed become a reality. So I therefore challenge NMS to demonstrate that Nairobi can be the model of our post-COVID-19 national recovery strategy. The National Hygiene Program that we call Kazi Mtaani Initiative, aimed at empowering and creating jobs for youth residing within informal settlements, will play a central part in that regard.
NMS, together with other organs, is implementing the Nairobi Urban Mobility as a priority NMT corridors along Kenyatta Avenue, Muindimbingu Street, Wabera Street are over 60% completion. Your Excellency, on rehabilitation and reintroduction of traffic signal within CBDs, community area, Gikomba, Mudhurwa, Kirinyaga Roads and Environment, and Muranga Matatu Terminal and Kenyatta National Hospital is over 80% complete. On directive of automated hourly car parking fees in 3 areas, we have integrated the automation of Desai Road, Machakos Bus Station, Sunken Car Park, and Nairobi Law Court into Nairobi Revenue Service Program. On operationalization of Matatu Terminal on Desai Park Road to ease traffic flow in CBD, we are constructing the seminar and it's 70% complete.
All right, the country has today confirmed 176 positive cases of COVID-19 tested from the 2,419 samples. 26 people have been discharged, while 4 persons succumbed to the virus.
Today, we have tested 2,419 samples over the past 24 hours, and among these samples, 176 disease. This now brings to 6,366 the total caseload in the country out of 169,836 samples that we have tested so far. All the 176 are Kenyans, and 100 of them are males, 76 are females. The youngest is a 3-year-old child, and the oldest is 78 years old. The cases are distributed in the counties as follows: Nairobi with 99, Mombasa with 20 cases, Kiambu 17, Migori 13, Uasin Gishu 10, Kajiado 4, Busia 4, Kilifi 3, Makueni 2, Machakos, Narok, Kisumu, and Kakamega 1 case each.
All right, now a family in Kirenga village, Lari, Kiambu County, is mourning the deaths of the 2 family members who drowned in River Bathi. Brian Gathinji and Brian Kiru, aged 17 and 16, were both this year's KCSE candidates.
Walikuwa wameenda kuogelea, walikuwa vijana watatu, lakini katika hao vijana watatu mmoja alikuwa anataka kuzama. Sasa katika kutaka kuzama, hao wawili, mmoja akiwa ni ndugu yangu wa miaka 18 anaitwa Brian Kilo, na mwingine anaitwa Brian Gathinji, pia ni wa miaka 18. Wakaenda kuokoa yule mmoja. Katika hali ya kumuokoa wakazama wao, wakawa wamekufa ndani ya maji. Serikali ya kaunti ikaja na divers wakawatoa.
Na mmoja ni wangu anaitwa Brian Kilo Mushiri. Hiyo janga imetushika kwa hii jiji letu. Kwa hivyo tunaomba serikali ikuje itusaidie, kwa hiyo tusione mambo kama hayo tena. Enda wanapiga picha huko, wanaweka kwa masimu za simu. Kwa hivyo serikali wakuje watusaidie huko, tusione mambo kama haya ya watoto wetu, juu watoto wengi watapotelea huko, na hata watoto wadogo kama wa miaka 10 wanaenda na wao wakubwa huko. Kwa hivyo tunaomba serikali itusaidie.
All right, now let's switch gears to Kibwezi, where residents of various villages in Masongaleni settlement scheme in Kibwezi, East Makueni County, have filed complaints of road dust that has caused detrimental effects on their farm produce and livelihood. They say the contractor, who is a private developer, has hidden intentions.
With the county government asked to come out clear, do surveys on the required road sizes, since the road constructions exercise has encroached into people's land, destroying their crops, something that has left majority at the verge of getting struck by the impending famine. They say that these roads are getting constructed by a private developer whose intentions remain unknown.
Na huku kwetu tumepata shida kubwa. Na shida kubwa ni kwa sababu ya kupoteza chakula katika shamba. Na tunapoteza chakula katika shamba kutokana na mabarabara ambao zinakatwa na zinakatwa bila mpango. Maanake wenyeji hawajahusishwa, hakuna PMC hatuelewi ni za county, hatuelewi ni za serikali, maanake kila mtu anashtukia asubuhi trakta inakata katika shamba lake. Kwa hivyo kutokana na hilo watu wamepoteza chakula.
According to the National Drought Management Authority, NDMA, Makueni has 350,000 people who will be in dire need of food in 2 months' time. Masongaleni ward is one among these very poor and arid areas that faces perennial droughts and famine. We spoke to several residents who expressed their anger, explaining how road dust emission might cause considerable productive losses to farming systems near the rural roads getting opened. They also said their health has been affected.
Hii barabara kutoka hapa karibu Chomani wanatuharibia chakula yetu, hakuna maram, hakuna maji, chakula imekauka sababu ya vumbi na watoto wanakoa sana.
Barabara ni nzuri, kwanza hiyo ni maendeleo, lakini kuna shida. Shida ya barabara ni inakuja inapomoa sana mpaka ikapomoa chakula. Chakula ikapomoa na mchanga ikaingia kwa ile ingine saa hii shai. Sisi tuko na shida sana. Hii vumbi inasumbua sana. Hata sisi inatuumisha. Saa hii tuko na tunaumia sana na kifua. Inaingia kwa kifua saa hii hata tuko na homa sana kupitia hiyo barabara.
They now want to be involved on any project before implementation, asking why some projects of unknown values were getting imposed to them without public participation.
Wakazi wa Masongaleni tusaidike na tuelezewe na wakuje serikali watusaidie wakomeshe hali mambo ambayo yanaendelea hapa.
Tunaomba serikali tusaidie na mandawa na chakula.
Tunataka serikali iangalie hii sita inaletwe ya kuharibu vitu vyetu.
Kama ni upanuzi wa mabarabara, wananchi wa Masongaleni tunataka wahusishwe.
Reporting from Mwangaza Prime News, Margaret Kamau.
All right, thanks for that, Margaret Kamau. Now let's switch gears to Machakos County, where over 200 families in Athi River have spent the night in the cold after they were ambushed by unknown assailants last night, leaving them in fear for their lives. The area occupied by Maasai natives has been continuously terrorized in the wee hours of the night. Our reporter Stella Kariuki explains.
According to the residents, the unknown attackers dawned past midnight during the curfew hours, armed with crude weapons, pangas and machetes, intimidating them and warning them to vacate the land. The first attack was on 7th June. Another attack was reported and the residents have now attacked 3 times in a month. The attackers left a trail of destruction, demolished some houses, cut down the semi-permanent houses with pangas and stole household items including foodstuffs.
Na hofu yetu ni kutoka wakati huyu OCPD alikuja hapa mwaka hii hatuja kuwa na amani hapa Athi River. Tumesumbuliwa sana usiku kila mara. Na yeye mwenyewe tukimulisa yeye nasema anasimamia haki ya wakubwa yake. Sasa hatujajua wakubwa yake ni nani.
Interestingly, nobody was hurt by the armed goons. Locals suspect the attackers want them to vacate the 20 acres piece of land they own as a community and have a title deed which is not disputed.
Tangu hiyo tarehe 7 tumekuwa tukipitia shida. Kuna watu wanakuja kutusumbua usiku. Usiku wa leo wamebomoa manyumba. Watoto wetu wamepitia shida, wamelala nje. Kwa hivyo tunawaomba sana serikali, mtuangalie, mtusaidie na mtupiganie.
Locals say after reporting the incident to security apparatus in Athi River, police officers were deployed to patrol the area for a few days. They now appeal to security agencies to keep vigil to bring to book the attackers.
Sisi ndio ulifamiwa leo usiku na watu ambayo alikuja kama watu 40 usiku. Tulikuja pale, tunaishi pale chini hivi. Akasa kutuharibia manyumba. Ni watu ambaye hatujui ni yao ni gani. Watu wametupara mali yetu, TV, kila kitu amepora kwa manyumba.
Reporting for Mwangaza Prime News, I'm Stella Kariuki.
All right, thanks for that, Stella. Tragic. Now, let's switch gears to Kiambu County, where there seems to be no let-up in politics as the battle for political supremacy in the county takes center stage this time round. The politicians rocked into conflicts over claims of positioning for the 2022 politics, and the tiff has been extended to boda riders who banned Governor Nyoro's reflectors over destruction of their shed built by Thika Member of Parliament for Kiambu as 2022 gubernatorial politics intensifies. Boda operators who lit bonfires and demonstrators said Governor Nyoro was extending his wings beyond his boundaries.
Thika MP Patrick Wainaina has condemned the recent destruction of boda sheds by Kiambu County government, where he called on them to build their own sheds instead. Speaking in Thika town, Wainaina said he would continue helping the youth in any part of the country, saying this action will not deter him from giving back to the society.
But the idea is we want to support the youth to come to the next level. Unfortunately, about a week back, I was given a report that the boda sheds that they are building, there are some people, and unfortunately to say, actually there are people in the government, because they came with a Land Rover, that is reportedly with a white Land Rover, and they pulled down about 10 boda sheds in different areas.
However, the MP downplayed allegations that he was eyeing the Kiambu governor's seat come 2022, saying his aim is to give development to wananchi. For when the time comes, the people shall decide.
I really want to condemn this kind of action. I want to say it is very unfortunate for our leaders to engage in destroying instead of building. So, and I want to say, if you really are, if you are a leader, the best thing you can do, if I have done the boda shed, come and build yours next to mine. Do something else that is going to endear these youths, that is going to uplift the youth. Otherwise, if you destroy, I think you are doing a very bad thing. And I think some of these things, I don't know whether some of our leaders have a conscience. Because how can you call yourself a leader and you are destroying what somebody else has done?
The Thika legislature spoke days after angry boda riders from Wihoko Roiro banned reflectors bearing Kiambu Governor James Nyoro's name and COVID-19 messages in what was seen as battle for supremacy in Kiambu County politics ahead of 2022. The riders protested against the county government of Kiambu, where goons accompanied by police and county askaris demolished their shed and car wash as they carried the remains.
Nothing is going to stop me from doing community work, and it does not matter whether somebody else is thinking about 2022. I do not care. Myself, I am doing what I am called to do, and I'll continue doing it. If you are destroying because you are thinking of year 2022, I think you are very lost.
Mary Kinyanduwi reporting from Mwangaza Prime News.
All right, and that story from Kiambu brings us to our first break tonight. Chat with us or engage with us on our SMS number 22914. When we come back, we're going to be taking you to Busia County. Stay with us. All right, welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Now let's continue. Healthcare services at Busia Referral Hospital came to a standstill following the commencement of healthcare workers' strike in the county effective from 29th June, as patients at the hospital were left stranded on long queues with no healthcare officers attending to them since Monday morning, with almost all the departments being affected in the hospital earlier. Healthcare workers, through their respective representatives led by the Secretary General Philemon Nakoche, issued a strike notice effective on Monday 29th over what they termed as the county government of Busia failing to honor the CBA signed back in 2017.
Jana kulikuwa tu kuzuri, lakini kufikia asubuhi hali zilibadilika. Tumetolewa nje wakati wa cleaning, tukaambiwa kwamba tungoje tutapimwa ndio tuingie ndani. Bado tuko kwa foleni, tunasikia ya kwamba kuna mgomo inaendelea, imeanza. Sasa hakuna matibabu, kila kitu imesimama. Hakuna nasi unaona, hakuna daktari unaona. Kilio chetu wananchi wa Busia kama mimi, naomba ya kwamba serikali ya Busia hakika haya ni mazoea na ni mambo magumu. kila mara migomo. Sasa wakati huu mgumu wa corona, watu wa daktari wa Kigoma, ni nani atasaidia mwingine? Hata saizi vile tuko hapa nje tumepanga foleni. Tunaomba ya kwamba gavana wetu ashituke tafadhali, aone wananchi wa Busia mateso yenye tunapitia.
Tunaambia wafuasi wetu wote ambao ni members wetu, tunawaambia wasikanyage kazini hadi serikali ya kaunti itakapotimiza yale matakwa ambayo tuliwapelekea. Waeze kufanya yale yote ambayo tuliandika kwenye strike notice, kwa maana mengine hapo hata sio ya kuendea mgomo, ni yanaleta aibu, vitu ambavyo vinafaa kushughulikiwa bila hata wafanyakazi wa afya kugoma. Na tunataka kuwaambia kwamba hiyo porojo ambayo wanasema kwamba wamepromote 2 cadres, hakuna yeyote ambaye amepokea barua ya promotion.
Sisi kama county tunajua ya kwamba tumefanya vilivyo kwa upande wa kazi, na ikiwa kuna mfanyikazi pengine ameamua ya kwamba hataki kufanya kazi, nafikiri kufikia Jumatatu sisi pia kuna sheria ambayo tutafuata, lakini sidhani kama tutaendelea kulipa mfanyikazi yeyote ambaye hatakuwa kazini, kwa sababu itakuwa pesa ni ya serikali, pesa ni ya umma. Hatuwezi kuitumia bila kujua imelipwa kwa nini. Na vile tunavyojua ni kwamba kila mmoja wetu, ikiwa tunangojea promotion na tumeshapata promotion wengine, si kitu ya kusimamisha kazi. Ikiwa tunangojea allowance na umeshapata mshahara wako, Busia nimewaeleza inalipa mshahara, inalipa all statutory allowances kila mwezi.
Alright, let's switch gears to Nanyuki, where traders in the old marketplace have been relocated to pave way for reconstruction due to the poor state of the market. The traders who sell food commodities have for the last 2 years been forced to work in pathetic conditions after the place they call work turned into a place full of mud and unsuitable for working. They lamented that their commodities are rotting out in the market since customers do not want to visit the market due to the mud.
Leo tumekuja hapa ili tuweze kuanzisha mradi ambao tunaanza wa kujenga hii soko, na tangu zamani hii soko ni soko ambayo imekuwa na shida, na mnajua hii soko imekuwa, kuna watu walikuwa wakisema soko haijatengenezwa, county government imeshindwa na kazi, lakini huwezi fanya kazi kama hauna budget ya kutosha. So saa hii kuna ile pesa ambazo tumepewa na Kenya Devolution Support ambayo inakuja hapa kutengeneza hii soko, na hii soko tutaijenga na takriban shilingi milioni 43 mpaka 45 kulingana na vile kiwango imewekwa ya hii soko. So ni soko ambayo itakuwa ya kimataifa, na ni soko ambayo tutahakikisha kwamba hawa wafanyabiashara hapa wamefanya biashara 24 hours kama serikali itaondoa kazi.
Hii mradi wametutangazia kwamba itakuwa ya siku 120, na kwa hivyo tumeamua wananchi wote wanaofanya biashara katika kaunti hii watahamishwa kwa siku 40 ijengwe first phase, alafu warudi upande wa juu ijengwe. Kwa hivyo ni kama siku 120 soko itakuwa imeisha, ambayo wananchi wa Laikipia watakuwa wamefurahia kuondolewa matope ambayo imekaa kwa miaka mingi.
The sellers can no longer access stock since they import the spare parts abroad. Our reporter Maureen Wanjiru visited Grogon and filed this report.
This sector of selling motor vehicles used parts and new ones, it is the bigger sector which, according to conservative estimate, it generates up to 2.9 billion shillings within the economy every month. But the sector may come down crashing hard due to sensation of movement. At Morgi Auto Spares, we meet Morris Mwangi, who works at Grogon in Nairobi. He is among thousands of Kenyans engaged in the importation of motor vehicles, used parts and new ones, majorly from Dubai. He has been doing the business for the past 12 years. He says that sensation of movement has affected their business.
Jina naitwa Morris Gishama Mwangi. Kazi yangu ni ya spare parts. Sana sana wakati kama huu kila kitu imefungwa, visa haziendelei, watu wamefungiwa nje, hakuna kwenda mahali tunaendaga UAE, that is Dubai, and right now Unajua what is happening in our country, kumefugwa hakuna kwenda huko. Kwa hivyo importing is now becoming a problem. But unless we do it online, and we are not sure whether we'll get the right things.
Bonnie Muchue has been doing this business from 2014, and he says that he depends on this business to feed his family, whereas for now sensation of movement has brought a bigger impact on their jobs. Bonnie says even when the cars get damaged, their clients are not bringing them, and they are running out of stock and they have nowhere to go. They say if the sensation continues, this will lead them to closing their business.
Kwa majina naitwa Bonnie Muchue ama Bonnie wa mami, na nafanyaga kazi ya kuuza spare part Grogon, na nimefanya kutoka 2014 mpaka saa hii, na hapo kitambo kazi ilikuwa sawa. Saa hii kazi iko chini sana kutokana na hii janga ya corona.
Joseph Mwangi, who is a youth and he is a mechanic and sells motor vehicle spare parts for the past 4 years. His goods have not yet been delivered due to cessation. He is urging the youth to search for jobs in order to depend on themselves and also to get their daily bread.
Naitwa Joseph Mwangi, Wangoi. For now, naona sasa kama kuna corona, kama chuma saa hazikuji, kama mimi zangu zimefugiwa. Nilikuwa nimeelea container zangu zimefugiwa juu ya corona. So sasa hii kuna nini charges mingi, na za advice waache nini, waache kama mambo ya drugs, waache mtu ajitegemee.
They are urging the government to deduct tax and also to allow them to import goods and not to close their business because they depend on it as their source of their livelihood. They are also urging the government to put street lights to reduce the risk of their goods being stolen and build them good roads.
Breni kazi ilikuwa poa, lakini sasa ya charge kuna charges kidogo na mambo ya corona, watu wadai chuma na tax bado ya kuimport vitu imekuwa juu sana. Serikali bado hapa inafaa iangalie, ijue mkulima mdogo.
So watengeneze, waweke ile wanataka kuweka usafi, lakini si kufukuza watu. Tena concerning the rightening, waweke rights everywhere. These are places whereby kunakuwa na a lot of robberies. Kwa hivyo waweke right, na wakiweka right tutaendelea na kazi zetu.
We paid a visit at Nairobi County in Glogoni to find out some of the challenges that they are facing, and each and every car need maintainers. Reporting from Mwangaza Prime News at 9 in Nairobi County, my name is Maureen Wanjiru.
All right, let's continue. The National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi has finally confirmed that 2 members of parliament who contracted COVID-19 are undergoing treatment. In a statement to the House on Tuesday, Muturi said the first case has been discharged from hospital and is currently undergoing self-isolation treatment in quarantine. The second case was taken ill but is now in stable condition and also recuperating in quarantine. All right, let's switch to business news. Treasury has released 1.5 billion Kenya shillings to the Interior Ministry to be used to pay Safaricom after the company threatened to disconnect security and surveillance system it built on behalf of the National Police Service, as revealed by the parliamentary records. Under the terms of the security contract, Safaricom in 2014 started installing 14.9 billion Kenya shillings communication and surveillance system that is linked to police stations to help combat crime in Nairobi and Mombasa. Right, and that report brings us to the end of Prime News at 9, but it doesn't end here. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel at Mwangaza TV Kenya and follow us on our other social media pages, Facebook and Twitter at Mwangaza TV. My name is Brian Sakwa. Our sign language interpreter tonight was Naomi Mathu. Good night. God bless.